Kia ora e te whānau. So it's been a while since I've been online. Kia ora Juanita. I've come back from Taranaki. I speak to Dad every day via FaceTime, so he's learned a trick or two on how to FaceTime. He's in rehab, still in hospital. He has his ups and downs. He has his good days and he has his bad days. And we're just hoping he will have more good days than bad days. But this is not the reason for my live. I'm going to show you a few pictures of our whare puni. So our whare puni was built in the late 18th century. It's the only whare puni left in Taranaki of its condition, and the only whare puni left in the whole of Aotearoa of its condition. And in their wisdom, the trust that governs our whenua, our farm, Te Hanataua Trust, have put the homestead and the whare puni on death row. And today they evicted my auntie, who's been there for 60 years, and she's been kaitiaki for over 20 years after the passing of her parents. And they evicted her onto the street, and she's back at the homestead with kaumata. So the kaumata last year put a rahui over it. So they've breached the rahui, pulled all her gears out. They are tonga from the Lizzie Bell, and I've spoken about this story in a couple of lives. Tonga from the Lizzie Bell, which was the sinking of the Lizzie Bell in the 18th century. So there was Tonga sitting in that room. What they've done is they've kicked her out. They brought security guards in, kicked her out onto the street, broke into the house because she had the key for the whare, pulled all her stuff are on the lawn, pulled windows out, right? And are claiming ownership. So here's the issue they have. One, if they claim ownership, then they've breached their own governance responsibilities under the Trustees Act to make sure they maintain and protect all assets. So they haven't done that. Two, if they claim ownership, then they have to prove that she doesn't have a lodi or title, and they haven't done that. So three, now they've forced her into occupying her own whenua, her own home. So this is a call out to anyone that wants to help my auntie to protect. And I'm going to show you the pictures. They're absolutely stunning pictures. So I'm going to share it with you. So this is one of the walls that this whare puni is made of old traditional materials. And I'll just show you other. So that's the ceiling. So those are drill holes. So they used to have a fire inside this whare puni, and the smoke used to go up through those little drill holes in the ceiling. And these are the walls and the ceiling, absolutely stunning whare puni, and they want to demolish this. Te Hanataua Trust, and the chairman is Brian Rupatini. Now, he was the director or the CEO of Methanix until I think last year. So he's been brought up in the corporate world. He hasn't been brought up in Te Ao Māori. And this is looking at the back of this whare puni, and this is what they want to demolish and destroy. So my auntie's been kicked out. She's distraught on the lawns. They've thrown all their stuff on the lawns. They've taken the tonga that is in this building, and they're going to give it to a Pākehā museum. And the guy rang me up today, and I says I wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot barge pole, because now they've forced a major legal battle between Auntie and her supporters, which are the kaumātua of Ngā Ruahine-rangi, who put a rahui over this whare. So I just wanted to share some of these photos, whānau, so you know what this is what happens when you have a trust that's only been around for 20 years. My auntie's been in that whare for 60 years, and kaitiaki for over 20 years, longer than this trust has been around. So I am calling to all the whānau. This is a serious issue. They've thrown her out on the street, pulled the windows out of the whare so she can't go back into her whare. It's absolutely shocking. what they've done. The media has been contacted, but it's just like bullying, brute force bullying tactics. Kuya in their 70s, right? It had security guards, had trustees. Not even the chairman could turn up. The chairman, Brian Rupatini, you didn't even have the courage to turn up to evict your auntie. So I'm using my platform to have a call out for whānau to help my auntie to occupy her land, because she has to occupy now, and they have to prove that she doesn't have a lodi or title, and they can't do that because she's been there longer than they have. So whānau, this is a desperate plea for my auntie in Taranaki. Can anyone private message me if they're in Taranaki and if they're able to organise an occupation? I would really much appreciate it. I'm going to sign off now because I've got a number of phone calls to make. God bless you all, and hope that this issue will be resolved amicably. Ka kite anō, kia ora rā. Oh, while I'm here, so before, I was just thinking, before I tune out, the address is 3203 Main Road, RD 32 Opanaki, Taranaki 4682. So it's in Pihama, but the legal address is 3203 Main Road, RD 32 Opanaki, Taranaki 4682. Please PM me if anyone can help and organise an occupation very quickly. She was actually waiting for a court order, which she never received, and they just turned up without notice. So they haven't gone through due process. They're going to argue that they did, but she wasn't aware that any of this was going to happen, that they were going to come in today and they were going to do what they have done. So I am calling for those that can support an occupation. If you can, please get a hold of me ASAP. Kia ora rā, ka kite. What I'll do before I sign out is I just want to share those photos again one more time so you can see what this trust, Te Hanataua Trust, led by Brian Rupatini, wanting to destroy. Absolutely beautiful whare. And it has its own wairua, and when you go in there, you can actually feel our tupuna. And that's what they want to demolish. So this whare is on death row. If anyone can help us, I really appreciate it. Kia pai tō rā. Kia pai tō rā, ka kite anō, kia ora rā.